How's it going? It's George from the Movie Cellar, and we've got another movie for the month of horrors. This time I watched the movie called The Frankenstein Theory. Came out in 2013. It was set in 2012, and it's really simple. They tried to make a documentary, or tried to make the movie seem like a documentary, where this guy believes that he's the descendant of um, Dr. Frankenstein, and that Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the original book, was based off of a true story. So his idea is that, in the book Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the story is told, at least partially, by some letters that go back and forth between the characters. And so he has what he says are real letters. So he has this idea that not only is Frankenstein real, but still alive in the Arctic Circle of Canada, and he wants to go find him. Um, so he hires a friend of his from college that does film stuff to sort of just document everything. So there's, I want to say, two camera guys, a sound guy, and then this girl that would be the interviewer, and then the Frankenstein great 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 grandson, whatever the fuck he is, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Um, they decide they're gonna go, so they head to Canada. On the way, the girlfriend of the main character breaks up with him because he's a fucking crackpot. Um, so they go to Canada and they stop off and they see this clearly whacked out meth head who threatens them with a gun and goes nuts. And then they get deeper and deeper into Canada. And they hire this guy that looks like an Ed Harris knockoff of basically all of his characters. And he's the guide, right? So he's very gruff, but it seems like he knows what he's doing. So they get some snowmobiles and they head north. And they get into the Arctic Circle, and that's most of the movie, right? So now there's a total of 6 of them. And so they're going through on snowmobiles, and they tent out one night, and then the next night they end up at this really old log yurt. And so they're going to stay at this yurt, and it's just trashed. Lots of just dirty, filthy stuff, but it's old, right? It's supposed to be like over 100 years old. There's this like dirty doll just chilling that they pick up but don't do anything else with. And they wake up the next day. They hear some sounds at night, and they wake up the next day, and 2 of their 3 snowmobiles are completely trashed. And so they think that, well, the guide thinks that it was a bear. No. They hope it's a bear. The guide says, there's no way it's a bear. It has to be a man, and he's in these woods, and I'm going to go get him. So he walks off into the woods by himself with his gun. Says he'll be back in a half hour. After 4 hours, they decide they're going to send a couple people to go find him. And so they go find him, and they find his corpse. And then everyone's like, oh, let's get the fuck out of here. But they only have the one snowmobile, and there's 5 of them. So they send one guy for help. And then they hunker down in this crappy little log yurt. And they hear the worst sounds all night long. And they've got, like the night vision camera to make it look, super, I don't know, trying to make it look scary, trying to make it look like they're really there. It doesn't work. But they got all these scary sounds. And early in the morning, they decided they're going to just start walking. The friend that they sent with their one snowmobile hasn't come back, hasn't sent help. There's a storm on the way. So they just start following the tracks. And they end up finding the snowmobile. So they split up to do a search party thing and find the guy. And one of the people finds the guy, but then he gets killed as well. So now they're down to 3 of them. They get back to the yurt, and the Frankenstein monster, allegedly, because you still don't know, But the thing that's been making the noise is inside the yurt, trashing the place. Excuse me, it's like 3:30 in the morning in my car recording again, because everyone's asleep in my house and I'm a loud motherfucker. And I don't want to wake my kids up by saying I'm a loud motherfucker. So, out here with my Dora seat, just chilling. Where was I? Yeah, so the supposed Frankenstein is totally fucking up the yurt, right? And so these three people, the lady interviewer, one of the cameramen, and the great grandson. So they're there, and it's getting dark, and they're like, well, what are we going to do? We can't just walk off. We won't survive. We can't go in because he'll fucking kill us. And so they plan to wait, and hopefully he just leaves, and then they can go in there, right? So then the great-grandson is like, well, I'll go call to him, and then you guys sneak around him and go into the yurt. And then he'll be afraid of you, and he won't go in there. So they try that plan, and the cameraman gets fucking destroyed. You still don't see the monster, really. Like, you see, like, a dark flash in front of the screen. That's it. Like, you can see, like, it's a big thing that moves by. It could be Bigfoot. It could be just a big guy. You don't know. So he gets fucked up. So it's just the interview lady and the great-grandson. And so they get together, and the scary Frankenstein monster thing isn't in the yurt anymore. So he sends her into the yurt, right? And then he's like, well, I'm going to go outside, and I'm going to talk to him and reason with him. So he goes outside. He starts talking to supposedly the monster. And he's obsessed. He's asking if he can touch the monster. He's like, no one's going to hurt you. You're my family legacy. I love you. Just let me touch you. You're a miracle. And he goes to touch him. Monster rips him to shreds. Allegedly. You hear it, but you don't see anything. It's all outside of the yurt. At this point, you're like 84 minutes into an 86-minute movie, and you still haven't seen the monster except a far-off little black dot that you can tell is man-shaped, or an at-night dark flash across the screen. That's it. But the girl's inside by herself. She just heard the last of her companions being ripped apart. She's terrified, rightly so. I mean, I'd shit my pants a million times by then. And the Frankenstein monster comes in and grabs her and takes her out. And that hits her and carries her over his shoulder and just carries her out. And that's it. Roll credits. You see a blurry shot of him come in the door, grab her and leave. And then you see a blurry shot of him walking away in the distance at night with the credits rolling over it. So it's an 86-minute Frankenstein movie with no Frankenstein. It's not scary. There's not any good suspense. There's not any good drama. There's not any good action. There's not any good acting. There's not any good camera work. There's not any good anything. The script is trash. The angles are trash. It's all terrible. The real horror story is that Dan paid even $1 for this. The Frankenstein Theory is just... It's so shitty. It's so shitty. It's not a movie to watch. Don't watch it. If you've watched this, you already know too much about it. So I'm going to rate it a 0 out of 10. Absolute trash. Its metal moment was the fact that it got a producer to pay for it, because holy fuck. It might have sounded cool, like, before they actually made it, the idea of it, but then they made it, and it's trash. So, some of these movies have been really good. Some of these movies have been really, really funny. None of them have been scary so far, but some of them have been really funny, and some of them have just been trash. So I'm hoping that my next one will turn out to be a lot of fun. Hopefully you're enjoying at least Dan and Chris's videos. Maybe check out some of their movies if they're having better luck than I am. I haven't watched their videos yet. And if you want to, stay tuned for more videos about the horror movies we're watching. All right, thanks. Bye.